so I started back in 2021 out of a Nissan Maxima. Wow. You can make money doing something yourself. You don't have to work for somebody. So it ended up being a bill of $16,000. I didn't have that.
When your back's against the wall, how did you come up with that chunk of change? Welcome to the channel, everybody. So we have Caleb here with Spruce Lawn Care. So Caleb is 21 years old and he is on track this year to do $225,000 in top line revenue. He is absolutely crushing it. I actually met Caleb through my coaching calls through the channel, and he's an absolute stud. He's now part of our mastermind group where we kind of get together each month and help each other grow and succeed with a couple of other members. But today it's a privilege for me to introduce Caleb onto our channel and having a in-person podcast up here at the HQ. So thanks for jumping on, Caleb.
Thank you, Will. Yeah. Hi, everybody.
So maybe tell the viewers like a little bit of like the service area that you do and kind of where you're at in business.
Yeah, absolutely. So we service Melissa and Anna. We're in North Texas. We also do parts of McKinney as well, a couple neighborhoods. So we keep a pretty small service area right now. We try to stay under 9 or 10 miles radius currently. It could be lower, but it's where we started and we're just rolling with it. It works out.
Yeah.
Having a pretty small area. You need it, especially.
Very cool.
Yeah, you need it.
Well, that's awesome, man. So I've got some questions here. We're gonna be drilling you a little bit. So
all right, let's do it.
So I guess tell everybody how. So like, obviously we all start somewhere, right? So like, how did you with Spruce Lawn Care get started, and why did you get started?
Yeah, so I started back in 2021 out of a Nissan Maxima, basically. So I was working at Amazon. I really didn't like the job, and I had actually watched a video about lawn mowing on YouTube. It was just a video that popped up out of nowhere, and the title was like, making $500 mowing lawns in a day. I was like, what? Like, mind blown. I watched that and I was like, okay, I could spend less than $1,000 on equipment. I mean, that's not bad. Less than $1,000, I have that, I have a car. I could do this and probably make a couple $100 a day. So I did it. I went and got a used $75 push mower, and I did buy the blower and the weed eater brand new from the store. I literally just went door to door. And I got a job and I got paid. I finished the job, got paid, and my mind was blown. I was like, wow, you can make money literally doing something yourself. You don't have to work for somebody. You can make money yourself without needing a job necessarily. So I started because, like I said, I was at my job. I just didn't feel happy. It wasn't where I wanted to be. And I always knew I had like an entrepreneurial spirit within me. My parents were entrepreneurs. My dad was, at least. He was an electrician. He ran an electrician business for quite a while. And then my grandpa runs a fish market. He's been doing that for over 30 years.
Interesting.
Yeah. He would literally just sell fish out of this little shack in front of his house. He's been doing that for, well, he's passed away now, but he did it for over 30 years and he lived off that. So it runs in the family. I've got uncles that are also in business. So that inspired me to do that. Seeing them do that and then seeing the video online as well was what sparked me. And once I did it, it just went up from there. I couldn't stop. I couldn't go back.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing. That's
yeah.
amazing. Very cool. Very cool. So you had so you were able to maybe reach out to him like in the beginning days of like owning a business, or
with my dad?
Yeah.
Not really. He just did it himself, right? It was like self-contractor, like general contractor, like by himself. He would have like guys help out here and there. But I could never really go to him about business advice because he ran it back in 2008. He never used any kind of software. It was a little different. It wasn't really someone I could go to for good advice. That was the thing. Same with other family members. They're not overly successful. They're like by themselves or have a guy or two. And I would go to my uncle usually and I'd get decent advice from him. That's someone who I would reach out to get information about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. All right. So, what is the best advice that you have ever received that has helped you through your business career, now doing close to $225,000? I mean, you're super young, you're ambitious, you're hungry, you're coachable, right? You're that willingness to learn. I mean, you just have seen explosive growth from when you first started. So what is that best advice that maybe somebody gave you one day that has really stuck with you?
Yeah, good question. So I heard this from, I think it was Mike Andes, but stick to your core services, because at the start I would do window cleaning, pressure washing, everything under the sun. I was doing everything and I wasn't really getting anywhere. I mean, yes, I was getting revenue, but I wasn't necessarily growing my business like I am able to now. So I would say the best thing you can do is find your set of core services that you're really good at. Focus on that, hone in on that, focus on it. Don't necessarily try to go all over the place, do 5 businesses at once, because you're just stretching yourself so thin. If you could just focus on one business and you have a set of core services that you're really good at, you can explode.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm learning that a lot too
Yeah.
in my career and journey. So
Yeah.
that is sound advice. Very good. So you spoke at the beginning when you first got that itch. You watched that video of making $500-600 a day, and you went out, you actually did it, and you got that true feeling of what it feels like to be an entrepreneur and start to make money for yourself and not have to work for somebody else. So speak maybe about your entrepreneurship like career and like what it takes like each and every day from you through that. And what are ways that you have to grow, not only like in the business, obviously, but also like personally as an entrepreneur?
I would say number one thing, at least for me, is the gym. I go to the gym quite frequently. I believe that health is wealth. If you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of your business, your family. I truly believe that. So for me, if I'm not working out, if I'm not eating healthy, I'm not going to be as productive. So that's very important. Another thing too is just having that, I guess, that work ethic, that hustle mindset, like work, get it done, do it, be very efficient, be productive with your time, spend your time on things that are going to help grow your business. Something that I do quite frequently, especially whenever I'm driving and I'm on a job, let's say I'm mowing or we're doing a job, I have my AirPods in and I'm listening to like an audiobook, YouTube video like Mike Andes, a podcast, like I'll listen to Will. That's been very helpful for me to grow my business. I think if I hadn't put in the time to listen to people on the internet, probably would not be anywhere close to where I'm at now. So that's also very important. So work very hard, educate yourself, and take care of yourself, and it's all up from there.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really, really good. I'm a firm believer. So for the viewers out there, actually, Caleb and I we've done a 30-day challenge over the last 30 days of basically eating better.
Yeah.
And so maybe just a little bit off topic, give them the rules of the 30-day challenge and what we had to do over the last 30 days.
So basically, on our last meeting, mastermind, last month, we both had some issues with eating healthy, and we both just said, hey, let's give it 30 days to just eat super healthy. So we created a list of things that we can and cannot eat. So I think it was like no fried food, no like sodas, or what were some other things?
Desserts,
Yeah,
sweets,
desserts, stuff like that. Super, like anything really unhealthy. Like literally, it's kind of like 75 days hard, right? 75 hard, something like that. Just going for 30 days of just eating extremely healthy to kind of change our eating habits And for me, I get a lot of realizations. I'm big on that. Like, I'll kind of like fall out of things. Like in the spring, I lose, I get stressed and I kind of lose my discipline. I won't eat as healthy. Whenever I do start eating healthy, I go back to the gym. I have a realization like, okay, this is really good for me. I need to do this, and it improves. So, but yeah, I think we're almost done. Like, we're gonna do 10 more days.
Yeah, so we're gonna actually extend this. So we both basically said that if one of us kind of messes up or eats something that we're not supposed to, that we've got to put up $100. And although $100 isn't that much money, it's something to be conscious about. And really, the whole goal of the whole thing is just to eat better. So we both have done extremely well. Send it, and so before we eat, we gotta snap a picture, send it to each other, and anything that kind of that we consume it's been great. I mean, I feel better. Yeah. So how have you felt like over the last 30 days?
So yeah, before I wasn't eating as healthy as I am now, of course, and it's been great. Like, productivity up, I sleep better, I work out a lot harder. Whenever I'm outside, I'm working. I just have more energy. I want to do it. I feel a lot better. So it's definitely worth it. If you're eating healthy, you'll be more productive. So that's why I say health is wealth. You can spend more time and do more productive things if you're healthier. I believe that.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Very cool. All right, so now that you have grown significantly with this explosive growth, you're on track this year to do $225,000 in top line revenue. You had multiple employees this year that have come and go, worked with you, and you still have an employee currently. So what are some of those big struggles that you are facing in your business currently that are just those big kind of obstacles or challenges that are in the way?
Yeah, absolutely. It's money, having cash. Always had an issue with cash. I made a lot of mistakes in the past with business, like buying things, like buying a trailer or a mower that I shouldn't have bought, and I lost money on it. Stuff like that is just not have enough cash. That's the main thing, because right now I'm trying to save money for next year. You know, buy another truck, have money for marketing, do things to be able to grow the business with that cash. We're just not there yet. We're not meeting that goal of cash.
How has becoming your own boss and being a business owner shaped you of like who you are today?
In quite a few ways. I've become a better person. I'm a Christian. I'm a lot more into that. I go to church now. I used to not do that. Didn't feel it, but now I do. That's been a big change in my life because of business. And then also gaining so many skills. Like, I feel like I've gained like 10 college degrees doing this. You know, you learn how to manage people, you learn how to sell, which is extremely important, how to market, how to do your numbers. All those things has changed everything. It's changed who I am. I was a totally different person 4 or 5 years ago than I am now, and it's been great.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's very cool. I think entrepreneurship is one of the hardest, most satisfying, most gratification, most struggling and challenging job in America. You know, so I think
absolutely. Yeah, it's like the best thing for self-improvement, in my opinion.
1,000%.
If you want it, that's the thing. You gotta want it. You gotta want to self-improve and educate yourself.
Absolutely. I fully agree with that. So, who is your biggest influence other than relatives, and why?
Probably Mike Andes. Yeah, I would say. You as well. You also inspire me, and I do respect you. But Mike Andes is probably on top. He was one of the first people that I had watched online, and I've watched almost most of his videos. I've watched, and I've learned almost everything from Mike. He's changing the game in lawn care, so I'm watching him, and I trust everything that he says and does. So yeah, Mike Andes, 100%.
He is a wealth of knowledge. Yeah. I too learn. I'm a steward of his teaching.
It's crazy. He's got so much good stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So obviously you've been in business now for a period of time, and there's a lot of things that we can kind of look back on that I'm sure you could probably look back on and be like, hey, maybe I shouldn't have done it that way, whatever that may be. But is there anything in your business career that you kind of think back, take a step back, look back and say, hey, not necessarily like regret doing, but maybe of like, that probably wasn't the best approach, that probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. Is there anything that maybe comes to mind to you through your career that you can think of?
A lot. Like 1,000 things, but probably the biggest thing is not focusing on what I need to focus on, not knowing what to focus on. Through educating myself, I know I have a path in my mind, I have a vision for where I want to go and how to get there. I used to not have that. I had no roadmap in my head. I just was doing, going, working, kind of just lost almost, until I started really getting into the content and reading and all these things. But I guess another thing too is taxes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, taxes.
Good old taxes.
Taxes, man. So my first year and a half, I want to say, I wasn't charging sales tax, and I was reporting income, not knowing I had to do this. I had no idea. I went into business with no knowledge at all. Nobody taught me personally, like, that kind of stuff. I never knew about taxes. I don't really hear about it online. Even from Mike, it's not a lot of what he talks about. So when I ended up hiring my CPA, they were like freaking out, like, what are you doing? I had been reporting my taxes and paying that, but I wasn't paying the sales tax. I wasn't charging it either. So it ended up being a bill of $16,000.
Wow.
Yeah, $16,000 that I had to pay back, and it's totally put me behind because of that.
That's big.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's not a small chunk of change.
So how did you come up with that chunk of change? I mean,
Yeah.
when your back's against the wall.
So yeah, good question. It was a credit card because I didn't have any cash at the time. Like, it just has always been not always been a struggle, but having lots and lots of cash just to be able to say, oh yeah, $16,000, just pay it off. I didn't have that. I had a couple grand because I'm growing. It's spring. I'm trying to grow my business, and then this pops up, right? So it was credit card, and then I also used majority of my cash that I had to pay it off because I didn't want to go into debt with the government. They offered me a payment plan, but it was going to be like a bond, and they're going to put a lien on your house and all these things. I was just like, I'm just put my credit card and pay it. And I went ahead and just got paid, and I paid it off now, thankfully.
Wow.
But it's put me behind quite a bit, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
So charge sales tax.
Absolutely. Wow, that's a cool story that you're able to navigate through that challenge.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. So a lot of individuals that are out there just starting their lawn care business, I think a lot of them don't necessarily pay themselves, even from like day one. So are you paying yourself? What does that look like? How much should you pay yourself? Like what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I do pay myself just a small wage. So I do Profit First. If anybody's heard of that, it's a book by Mike McAllowitz. And also from you too, you have a good YouTube video showing off your little calculator on the Excel spreadsheet. So I took that, I did the exact same thing, and I'm paying myself, I think 15%, something like, I can't remember the number, but I'm getting less than $3,000 a month. I don't know. It's probably between $2,000 and $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do pay myself because I have bills, I have rent, I have gym, food. So
yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that's very cool. So you talked a little bit about growing yourself. And so I'm a big component on this through education as well. I think education, a lot of people, once they graduate college to get out of school, they don't ever open up a book. I think it was like 80% of Americans won't ever pick up another book and read again.
Exactly.
But people like you and I, always hungry to learn, always willing to open a book, listen to an audio, reach out to a mentor, coach, whatever. What do you feel like is that the number one business book that has helped get you to where you're at today that you would recommend, and why?
I think my first book that I even read was Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is a lot for a lot of people who have read that, but I would say that that was very influential for me to understand money a lot better and what it can do for you. I would say another good book, Extreme Ownership. That's been a big one. I read that recently, about 4 or 5 months ago. Very, very good book. It's about taking ownership within yourself. Taking ownership for everything that's going on in your business, your life. In reality, most things are probably your fault. You not going to the gym is your fault. You not selling the customer, all these things. You're not showing the employee what they should and shouldn't do. You're not setting expectations for this person. Is your fault. So that has been very influential for me, as well as Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah, so those are both phenomenal
Yeah,
books.
very good books. You have to read them.
I have listened. Well, so the Rich Dad Poor Dad, I was actually deployed overseas, and I read that book in like 3 days.
Yeah.
And I don't read books,
It was so good.
and it was amazing. And then Extreme Ownership, phenomenal for becoming a leader. So,
And I've reread all of them multiple times. That's because I forget things. I don't know if you have the same problem.
yes.
I'm forgetful, so I'll miss things. I'm like, oh, okay, and reread it, and you kind of study a book and keep focusing on it. You learn more and more.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. So we have a lot of viewers out there that are just getting started in their lawn care business. So to wrap things up here, so what would you, what advice would you give somebody that might be literally just starting off, watching maybe my videos, Mike Andy's videos, Brian's Lawn Maintenance, anybody out there that's in the industry, literally just getting started? What advice would you give them to start their business?
Hey guys, wanted to take a quick second here. So I don't ask or promote anything on this channel or sell anything directly to you guys. I provide this value completely free to you, and hopefully it helps grow and achieve greater success in your business. But what I wanted to ask from you is if you could click that subscribe button and share this video with someone, an entrepreneur in the lawn care industry that you feel could benefit from this content. More importantly, it may change someone's future. We'll see you guys here in a bit.
Yeah, good question. Start small. If you have money, don't go buying the latest new mower, like $10,000 mower. Don't go buy the big trailer. Stick with what you got. If you have a small pickup truck, just load the mower. Get a little small 21-inch cheap mower. Load it up in the back. I would say stay humble. Start small. Start where you're at. Don't go blowing a ton of money into it, and definitely educate yourself too. Listen to people. Get a mentor if you can. Reach out to people and just listen to other people. Very important for you. So.
Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. So to wrap things up here, from what we talked about last time, so the viewers that are watching you, Spruce Lawn Care out here in Anna and Melissa, and locally here in Texas, how can the viewers kind of reach out to you and maybe ask you questions? And how can they reach out and get to know you better?
Good question. So I am starting my YouTube channel, so I haven't started it yet. We'll probably just put it in the link, my YouTube channel, once I've got it, and I'll post content on there. And if you want to comment, you can, and you can also message me on Facebook. My name's Caleb Bartlett, so you can just go on Facebook. You can message me if you have questions. I'll absolutely answer anything that you guys have.
Absolutely. So this is exciting news. Caleb is going to be starting his YouTube channel, guys. Look. Go and subscribe to his channel. He's just getting started. He is an absolute all-star. He has explosive growth in his business, and just being in the masterminds, like just the value that he gives to other people in the mastermind is like invaluable. And so he's similar to myself, similar to Mike Andy's. We all have that growth mindset. of not wanting to just be small and impacting kind of like a small handful of people. Like we're thinking big. We're trying to help you guys out, grow your businesses. So definitely go to his channel. We will leave the link in the description below. But Caleb, thank you for hopping on the podcast with us. It was an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely.
So thank you for joining us.
All right. Thank you guys.
All right. We'll see you guys.
Bye.